Hey guys, my name is Matt. I'm just here posting my discussion board for neurobiology in our human growth and development class. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say I absolutely love this topic because I love developmental disabilities. I'm a case manager for people who have intellectual disability and developmental disability. In addition, I've grown up in this environment. My brother, he has developmental disabilities that I'll later talk about. So I really enjoyed just researching and learning about it and just the parenting strategies that we can learn going forward. But the disorder that I chose from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Strokes was cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a developmental disorder that can affect muscle coordination and movement that usually is made in the early infancy stages of life, usually found roughly within the first 6 months of development they can be diagnosed. But what does this look like going forward? What does this look like in real life? Cerebral palsy can create uncontrolled muscle reflexes or muscle stiffness or twistness. This can be found in a different type of cerebral palsy called dyskinetic cerebral palsy. There's other types of cerebral palsy as well. There is one where the individual could be facing a weak gait or an unusual walking pattern typically, or having a loss of muscle coordination. This can be called ataxic cerebral palsy. And with cerebral palsy, it's not just a one diagnosis. Oftentimes, people with this can have co-founding or morbid disorders such as scoliosis, osteoporosis. Incontinence can be one of those as well. Epilepsy is also found as well as speech and language issues. But some of the causes of cerebral palsy can include just a lack of oxygen in the brain while developing, damage to the brain's white matter, but one that's mostly found that creates it is when developing, the child experiences, or the infant experiences bleeding in the brain. What this makes when an individual bleeds in the brain while they're in the prenatal stage of developing, what this can do, it can overcreate glutamate in the brain, which can overstimulate neurons and basically just kill a bunch of neurons that creates cerebral palsy. But there can also be other ways, such as just genetics. Genetics can be one of those things that can also create cerebral palsy in an individual. But this can not only affect just the individual, this can affect people outside of the person who's suffering with cerebral palsy. It can affect the parents, it can affect the caregivers of the person. From our study from McIntyre and McWhorter, some parents can oftentimes face caregiver burnout and can face higher levels of depression. But there can be interventions for this, obviously. From our study, we found that parents and caregivers who practice and integrate religious and spiritual involvement into their own personal lives have been found to have lesser caregiver burnout and depression. As counselors, someday, we should be integrating or at least taking inspiration from religious and spiritual involvement for parents and caregivers who are taking care of people with developmental disabilities. Growing up in it, it was really hard both on my parents and myself as our lives just revolved around my brother. It really took a lot out of our lives, and integrating and having a deep trust in God and faith just really aided us and allowed us to see the purpose behind it, see the purpose that God has for it. So I really do believe from this study from McIntyre and McWhorter that having religious and spiritual involvement can really just lower the impact of depression in caregivers. But thanks, guys. I just wanted to wrap up the video. So hope you have a great day. Bye.